Mark Lawrenson, what do you reckon here?
Well, I think it's a tough task for Manchester United. And I was here the other week when they played Stoke Manchester United, and this place was like a library. There's obviously an edge today because the Manchester United spectators realise that this team here, I think, has got a chance of winning the league this time round, Arsenal. And I'm just looking forward to seeing how Manchester United deal with Arsenal. And the other thing about United as well in the home games, I think they've lacked a sense of urgency in some of those games. They've also been somewhat narrow. So I think this is a really, really big test for them. And the other thing, I'm just looking forward to seeing Mesut Ozil play, because I do really think he is a special player.
Big task for the referee as well. Michael Oliver, 28 years of age, for goodness sake.
Yeah, I think he's recognised as one of the better referees as well. All credit to him as well. He does now keep up with play really well, which players really do respect. He might not get the decisions right, but if you're up there, at least you can make them.
Manchester United will be kicking off here at Old Trafford, defending the Stretford end away to our left as we welcome listeners to the World Service on the BBC. Welcome to, 77,000 spectators lucky enough to be watching this game live at Old Trafford. And already we've got a free kick in favour of Arsenal for a foul tackle on Arteta. Arteta plays it himself to Sanya on the far side of the field, then Ramsey caught in possession, and Kagawa sprints forward up to the edge of the penalty area, but his cross was overhit. It should be cleared by Gibbs, and it is cleared by the left full-back over his head, but back into Manchester United's possession. Valencia deep inside the Arsenal half, trying to pull the cross across, hits Gibbs and goes out of play for the throw-in. And Valencia will leave this for Chris Smalling to take. Fellaini, the only big purchase for Manchester United in the summer, on the bench. Smalling throws it in towards Rooney, and the ball comes back off a defender, not Rooney, into corner.
I thought Rooney had the last touch, actually.
Yes, so did I. Van Persie in front of fans who used to support his every movement. The Arsenal fans, as he takes this corner, near side of the field. Plays it in left-footed, in-swinging corner, headed up and away by Arsenal, then headed back into the penalty area, not once, but twice. Now the ball met by Van Persie. Van Persie back to Valencia. Valencia's cross was overhit, but Rooney will keep it in play on the far side of the field. Wayne Rooney from Manchester United. Back to Jones in a midfield role alongside Carrick. And he plays it back to Evans. Evans to the near side. And it's played initially from Carrick and now on by Vidic to the far side to Evra. Evra to Jones once more. And to Carrick, just ahead of the centre, just ahead of the halfway line rather, left of the centre circle. Now back to Evans, 2 minutes gone here at Old Trafford, listening to 5 Live in the World Service on the BBC. Manchester United and Arsenal, 8 points between the clubs as we kicked off here. That was a late challenge by Giroud on Evans, and it's certainly a free kick. I wonder, is it too early for a yellow card?
Well, I think possibly. It did look a little bit like a stamp. I can't really see because Evans has his back to us and the referee wasn't some 20-30 yards away.
I use that term with irony. Is it too early for a yellow card? Because most referees will not book a player at this stage of a game that, say, 10 minutes further in, they would definitely book them.
I think he hit him, Alan, insofar as he made contact. I don't think it was as bad as Evans is making out.
Okay. Free kick to Manchester United, nevertheless. 3 minutes gone. Carrick's going to take it a few yards short of the halfway line towards this United right touchline in the first half. Touchline nearest our commentary position. It's played away to the far side to Evra, into Jones, and now here's Vidic. Vidic back to Evans, and no doubt we'll see the Ulsterman moving quite freely. We do. Evans runs away from Ozil and plays it high in the direction of Valencia. Comes back off Valencia's shoulder to Van Persie. Van Persie, the former gunner, gives it away, but they want to throw in the near side of the field. Taken by Smalling to Van Persie. On to Valencia, and another throw-in 15 yards further along the touchline. Now in a position level with the edge of the Arsenal penalty area.
There's an urgency here, Anna, from Manchester United I haven't seen all season.
That's right. I watched, I think, 3 of their home games here, and they've been slightly off the pace at the start of the match. I can't understand why.
No, not today.
Not today. they recognise the importance of this game. Evra down the left to Kagawa, and Kagawa doesn't control that. It's run out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in to Arsenal, who I'm sure expected some heat in the early stages of this game.
I would think they'd be ready for it, most definitely. There are no sort of tactical changes as well here in the way that the teams have lined up. It's as is, really, isn't it?
Ozil plays the ball back to Arteta. Now it's with Gibbs on to Cazorla. Cazorla tackled by Smalling. The ball was still in play. Well, not now, because Gibbs, he tried to dink it along the touchline, hits it out, and it's going to be a throw-in to Manchester United. Short of the halfway line. The game taking a while to settle into any great pattern. Smalling to take the throw-in. Valencia is available, so too is Rooney. Rooney controls it really well, beats two Arsenal players, and then flicks it away to the far side to Evra, who's running strapping around his right wrist. On to Kagawa. Kagawa now more than midway inside the Arsenal half. Back to Evra. Evra to Van Persie. Van Persie. Oh, well, he misinterpreted what Evra was doing ahead of him. Got the pass wrong, and it's through to Chesney. I
think Evra thought that it was when he ran this side of him, goal side as it were, he thought that Van Persie would just play it into his path, didn't he?
This is Arsene Wenger's 50th game against Manchester United. Hasn't had a great record, and they haven't won here, for example, since 2006. But he's had more wins against David Moyes as a manager than any other manager that he's faced in the Premier League. Now, there was another kick-off at the same time. It was at Swansea and Stoke. Alistair Bruce ball.
Early goal for Stoke City. It came in the 5th minute. John Walters, his 100th consecutive Premier League start. He celebrates with his first goal of the season. Swansea will not want to see the replay. Poor defending from Chico. Ben Davies slipped over. Walters got in, buried it in the bottom corner. Swansea 0, Stoke 1.
Earlier, Sunderland beat Manchester City 1-0, and earlier still, Spurs 0, Newcastle United 1 in the Barclays Premier League. So we've already had a couple of upsets today.
Well, that's some coupon busters there, isn't there?
Yeah, certainly. My money's always on a draw here between these two, but we'll see. It certainly won't be 8-2. I guarantee that. Here's Valencia, near side from Manchester United. Crosses towards Kagawa, edge of the penalty area. Good control by the Japanese player off his chest. Plays it wide to the left to Evra. Evra with a deep cross. Chesney plucks it from the air.
Yeah, he's in a good position, starting position, Chesney, most definitely, and it was very comfortable in the end, just a bit too near him from Evra.
Cazorla, back to Gibbs, and Gibbs hits it high towards Giroud. Giroud beaten in the air by Evans. Evans sort of led with his arm there, but no infringement, according to Michael Oliver.
Little bit of revenge, methinks.
I think there was, but it's only a throw-in to Arsenal on the side of the field. 7 minutes played, Manchester United 0, Arsenal 0. Gibbs throw in to Cazorla, and then Valencia with a crude challenge on Gibbs. Gibbs did well to keep his footing, runs forward, and well, he's made good progress, but then lack of control let him down, and the ball squirts out of play for a throw into Manchester United deep inside their own half.
Yeah, I think Arsenal are going to squeeze up tight here as well and try and contain Manchester United in their own half.
The other thing I've noticed, Mark, aside from more urgency from Manchester United, is that there's a better atmosphere at Old Trafford. Everyone around here knows how significant this game is. This is a run forward by Jones, but then he obviously got caught. He might have picked up an injury there, Jones. I don't think it was a foul tackle on him, but anyway, he lost the ball, and Arsenal have it on the far side of the field. And it's in now to Ramsey, in fantastic goal-scoring form, Ramsey. 11 goals in 17 games for Arsenal this season. But that's a weak pass from the Welshman. Then it's given away by Smalling to Gibbs, and the ball is back with Ramsey. Ramsey to Giroud, to Cazorla. Cazorla feeds it to Flamini. Flamini on to Ozil. Ozil steps away from Valencia rather. Valencia persistent though in the challenge, so Ozil has to pass it to Gibbs. Arsenal significantly in the Manchester United half for the first time in the game. They've got all bar 2 bodies forward in enemy territory. And now it's back with Vermaelen. Vermaelen slides the pass forward to Ozil. Ozil with a little bit of room. Spins, passes to the left to the touchline to Cazorla. Left for Ozil again. Cazorla takes it up once more. Ozil. Arsenal in their familiar passing pattern. Now it's with Arteta. Arteta to Gibbs, and Gibbs, that was a poor pass from Gibbs, straight to Valencia, and now Manchester United can counter-attack. Rooney inside the centre circle, faced by Flamini, just taps the pass to the left to Kagawa. Kagawa with Rooney close by, but looking to play it behind Rooney to Carrick, another England international. Now Kagawa again on the far side, couple of step overs, now checks infield towards the penalty area, plays it to Rooney, Rooney shoots, takes a deflection, and Chesney makes the save.
Seemed to see it a bit right, the goalkeeper, didn't he? It seemed to take when it got the deflection, a little bit of height, a little bit more pace was added onto it.
In the big games this season, United haven't fared that well, taking just 1 point in the matches they played against Chelsea, Liverpool and Manchester City. They've got to reverse that trend today. I agree totally with what Lou Macari, the former United player, when he said before kick-off, he thinks this is a must-win game. It's played towards Van Persie, but ahead of the Dutchman, one bounce and it's through to Chesney.
Again, another good starting position from the Arsenal goalkeeper, Allen, just right out on the edge of his 18-yard box as soon as it looked as though Van Persie would get on the ball.
I think there were more doubts about Chesney than his opposite number today, De Gea.
Well,
but both of them are vastly improved.
Listen, nobody mentions De Gea anymore.
No, they
That's
don't.
how well he's done.
Yes, without question.
After Rooney this season, he's been their best player, Manchester United.
Van Persie back to Evra. And now it's with Evans. Evans from Vidic. On to Smalling. Smalling at right full back. On to Valencia. Valencia back to Smalling. Awkward for him to take on his chest. And then he flicks it high in there towards Van Persie. Cheeky little nudge from the Dutchman, putting off the defender. And his pass forward to Rooney. Edge of the penalty area. Rooney trying to create a little bit of space. Plays it back to Carrick. On it goes to Evra on the far side. 10 minutes gone. United mostly on the attack. Kagawa to Carrick. Midway inside the Arsenal half. Evra once more. Evra turns and then flips the cross in, easily caught by Chesney.
I was just looking, keep my eye on Van Persie. It looked like he was limping a little bit.
You heard rumours too that he was.
Yeah, I did.
He was unfit. He wasn't in the starting 11.
Yeah.
Not so. He's starting, and you wouldn't want to miss a game against your old club.
No,
Definitely
Joe
not.
Rowe was absolutely right earlier. There's nothing better than scoring against your old team.
The clearance from Chesney bounces out of play. Sagna was caught on the far side of the field. He's holding his face, but I don't think it was a facial injury. He's down on his knees now. The referee, Michael Oliver, has gone across to see what, if anything's wrong with him, and decides that the fullback might need attention.
Might must have cut the baubles out of his hair, maybe.
You said that, not me. No, he's limping away, Sagna. He'll be fine.
How would you describe those socks that Arsenal are wearing?
Awful. They're sort of skinny hoops, aren't they? Yellow and blue. With what purpose? Anyway, the throw-in has been taken by Arsenal. Sagna's okay. And it's played forward by Vermaelen to the far side to Sagna. Taken up by Ramsey. Ramsey aggressively challenged by Evra, and the ball's out of play for an Arsenal throw-in. When they get the ball back off the ball boy to Sagna. 10 yards over the halfway line, the Arsenal right back. 12 minutes played. Manchester United 0, Arsenal 0. You're listening to 5 Live in the World Service on the BBC. That throw-in wasn't particularly well played by Arsenal, and now Rooney collects it. And Rooney's on the far side of the field. Look how many yellow shirts trying to get across, and that hustled Rooney into an error, and he puts the ball harmlessly out of play for a throw-in.
Not like him. You just look at his body shape. It's completely different this year, isn't it? He's actually, the form of his body looks slimmer, leaner, hungrier, and everything about him looks good.
Well, naturally, he's been praising, the help that he's received from David Moyes. I don't think, for some reason, it's in my mind that Wayne Rooney and Sir Alex Ferguson are the best of pals. Can't think why that might be.
No.
But Rooney looks a happy bunny.
Maybe
or a happier bunny.
Maybe he's had a gastric band fitted.
No, was that not round his head for a while?
No, that was an
inner, a Michelin tire.
That was an inner tube he was wearing for a few weeks.
He's okay now. But he'll carry that scar from the training ground injury with Phil Jones for a long while, Rooney. He's in the vicinity of the ball at the moment. At least he was. And then Vermaelen heads it forward. Giroud heads it back. Arteta takes it in his right thigh. And on now to Wilshere. We haven't seen a great deal of Ozil so far. Now Flamini, just on the edge of the centre circle. To Ramsey, on to Sagna. Sagna, back to Ramsey. And Ramsey was thinking about playing it back to Koscielny. In fact, he does play it back to Koscielny. Koscielny now slides the ball forward again to Sagna. Just inside his own half. And back to Koscielny. though they're not going anywhere, especially quickly. Probably a sensible tactic by Arsenal at the moment, just to keep possession for a while and to dim that start that United made. 14 minutes gone. Not a proper attempt on goal so far. Here's Jones for the champions, heading it back to Evans, and Evans in confusion with De Gea. De Gea went back. Evans had to pass the ball back, and De Gea, of course, had no option but to kick the ball clear, and he didn't kick it particularly well clear. That was poor communication between central defender and goalkeeper.
No need for it.
Ozil on to Gibbs for Arsenal. Level with the edge of the United penalty area. Being hustled by Smalling. The ball's out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in very close to the corner flag. I mean, Evans expected De Gea to come to get to the ball, and he could easily have done that, the goalkeeper.
Well, the thing was as well was that, you know, De Gea's coming onto the ball, Alan. He can see everything in front of him. It was up to him to make that decision.
Yes. Here's Rooney to Van Persie. Van Persie tackled by Vermaelen, lost it, and then Van Persie trying to win it back, fouls Vermaelen, and much to his disgust, Michael Oliver has given a free kick to Arsenal.
I think that's a harsh decision from what I saw initially. I thought Van Persie actually won the ball.
Well, whatever we thought. Was it a penalty at Chelsea?
No.
Right. Did you see Larsson's challenge in the Sunderland game earlier?
No, I missed that.
And
Richards.
most referees' minds that was a red card. He wasn't even booked. Now it's played forward. Giroud for Arsenal to Ozil in the penalty area. He's firmly challenged, but again, it wasn't a foul tackle.
He was falling over as well, Alan. He was tackled, and Ozil didn't make anything of that.
Still 0-0 then. Over a quarter of an hour played at Old Trafford, and that bright start from the champions has diminished a little bit. Arsenal much more in the game now. It's with Chesney, their goalkeeper, and he clears it away towards the far side, towards Sagna. Evra jumps in the air with Sagna and heads it out of play for a throw into Arsenal.
Just a little period where now Arsenal are in ascendancy, aren't they? Although no goalkeeper had to make a save, and Chesney obviously just come and collected a couple of crosses.
Nothing else. They've got 25 points, Arsenal. 2 clear of second place Liverpool. Southampton are now third. And let's get an update on the game that kicked off the same tier. Time as this one. That's Swansea and Stoke. Alistair Bruce ball.
15 minutes gone. Swansea struggling to click into gear. Stoke leading by the early John Walters goal, who took advantage of a Ben Davies slip and a weak challenge by Chico. Ashley Williams was off the field after receiving treatment. He would have been where Chico was to make the challenge on Walters. Swansea 0, Stoke 1.
Well, let me tell Alistair, he's done well to get an early goal in that game involving Swansea. I was there for Cardiff Swansea this time last week, and do you know something? There wasn't an effort remotely near goal in the first 60 minutes. Nothing from either side, and then Cardiff headed themselves in front.
I watched it at home. I fell asleep.
I'm not surprised. I was struggling to stay. I was sticking pins in my thighs. Here's Evra now forward from Manchester United, left of the Arsenal penalty area. His cross into the area was deflected, and then the clearance was slashed away. It's not a corner, it's only a throw-in, very close to the corner flag on the far side of the field. Evra to take it. Kagawa nearest to him. Rooney's in the vicinity. Rooney being marked by Flamini, and successfully marked by Flamini, and Arsenal cleared the ball. Then Giroud heads it back dangerously close to his penalty area, cleared by Flamini once more, bouncing towards the far touchline, and out of play for a throw into Manchester United, which they were going to rush about taking and wisely changed their minds. Vidic might have put De Gea in an embarrassing position had he thrown the ball to him, because there were Arsenal players nearby. Evra takes a throw in to Vidic, the United captain. Back to Evra, and Evra holding off an Arsenal player, plays it to Rooney. Rooney sweeps it back to Evans. 18 minutes played. It's intense. It's not particularly good at the moment, but there is time for that to change. Smalling, midway inside the Manchester United half. Right flank. Hits it high towards Van Persie, who's well marked by Koscielny. The header away, but only to Carrick. Carrick forward to Rooney. Vermaelen intercepts. He passes it behind Sagna, and Sagna, though, has time to turn and clear towards Giroud. Giroud come back from an offside position, and it's a free kick to Manchester United.
He works hard, Giroud, doesn't he?
He does.
Really does work hard in trying to just
He's quite strong, isn't he?
Yeah,
as
he's
well,
quite
Jay?
strong. His game as well, I think. Well, they need to rattle cotton wool because
What happens if he gets injured?
you have to play that fella Bentner, who's got a promising career, but it's been ruined by a niggling brain injury.
Also ruined by putting himself on Twitter and doing interviews in his homeland in which he says, I don't want to play for Arsenal anymore, basically. That's smart. Here's Jones. Jones runs toward the penalty area, into the penalty area, leaves the ball behind him, and Arsenal clear it upfield, where Giroud beats Vidic in the air, but can't find a yellow-shirted colleague. And then Smalling hits it over his head, and Rooney's after it. Rooney up to the edge of the penalty area, then he's tackled by one of the Arsenal defenders, not sure who it is.
Vermaelen, is it?
It's not Gibbs. I don't know who the Arsenal player is.
Vermaelen.
Vermaelen. I thought Rooney was clear there, you know. Half a sniff. As it is, it's only a throw into Manchester United. 20 minutes played at Old Trafford. 5 live in the World Service, bringing Manchester United 0, Arsenal 0. Smalling with a throw-in to Valencia. And Valencia wins another throw-in a yard further away. What's he complaining about to the assistant? That Cazorla was making a challenge? And they're going to get another throw-in now, Manchester United, and they lose further ground. They're now level with the edge of the penalty area. Smalling waits, throws it in towards Van Persie. The throw wasn't strong enough, and it's cleared by Arsenal. Giroud then carelessly gives the ball to Carrick, and now to Evra. Evra runs forward towards the penalty area, leaves it for Wayne Rooney just to the left, onto his right foot. The cross is deep towards Van Persie, well defended by Vermaelen, and cleared by Cazorla up over the halfway line. Still nothing seriously on goal from either side. Smalling down the right, exchanges passes with Valencia. Good run by Chris Smalling, and he's going to get to the ball, keeps it in play, close to the corner flag. Smalling into Valencia. Valencia back to Smalling, he's offside. And how careless and how stupid was that, actually?
On a scale of 1 to 10, 11.
Oh dear. He's rightly applauded for the run forward, for not for the sense of keeping himself in an onside position, because there wasn't any.
Just a lack of footballing intelligence, I'm afraid, in the end, wasn't it?
Sort of feel for players like Chris Smalling.
I don't think he's a right
Jones.
back. I don't think he's a right back.
No,
Alan. I really don't think he's a right back, and I'm not sure.
Jones?
Well, let's deal with Smalling. I'm not sure if he's going to become a top player at Manchester United. I really have my doubts about that. Jones just needs to play in a regular position, but also to play.
Absolutely. Now here's Giroud for Arsenal. Plays it back to Gibbs to Cazorla, Gibbs once more, and then dink forward towards Giroud. His foot was high. Oh no, that wasn't the offence. He was offside. Free kick to Manchester United. Boy, it's a bit untidy.
Yeah, I just think with Jones, he's a lot of money, came in, did really well, and just keeps picking up injuries. Is he a right back? Is he a centre back? Is he a holding midfield player? I think essentially he will be a centre back, but played here the other week against Stoke with Evans, and he looked very, very ordinary on the day. Crouch and Walters bullied the two of them.
By the way, if you're wondering, Jack Wilshere is on the Arsenal bench today. Midway through the first half, Manchester United 0, Arsenal 0, and here's Mike Ingham.
Thanks, Alan. We've talked over the previous seasons about Arsenal's apparent lack of leadership on the pitch, and I've been watching while you've been commentating Flamini, because Vermaelen normally has come back as captain, but Flamini really is captaining the side out there. He really is organising everything from midfield and shadowing Rooney for the most part. And so far Arsenal absorbing after Manchester United's bright start. Arsenal now with the ball, playing towards the Stretford end, with Ramsey just inside the Manchester United half. Can't go forward and puts it back into the back four once more. Koscielny to Vermaelen. The central defensive partnership split up today by Mertesacker's illness. Arsenal now with a very impressive Gibbs near side, being watched by Roy Hodgson, who's here today. Arsenal building now. Giroud pulls the ball back to Cazorla. Cazorla slipped as he tried to deliver, and United yet to clear on the edge of the penalty area. Now they'll try and counter-attack. Kagawa hits it long towards Van Persie. Koscielny appears to be goal side of Robin Van Persie. Doesn't give it back though from the angle and settles in fact does very well. He's won himself a throw-in off Van Persie. Back to Ali Bruce Ball at Swansea.
Midway through the first half, get this for a scoreline. Swansea 0, Stoke 2, a really good second goal. John Walters got free on the right-hand side, pass into Peter Crouch, great vision and touch from him, laid off into the path of Stephen Ireland, clean through, one-on-one against Tremmell, and tucked it into the bottom corner. Swansea 0, Stoke 2.
Well, you're listening to 5 Live and World Service, and earlier, just in case you missed it, great day for the North East. Tottenham winning, Tottenham 0, Newcastle 1. That was Remy's goal for Newcastle in London in the noon kickoff, and Sunderland beat Manchester City, a goal from Bardsley. Here it's 0-0 between Manchester United and Arsenal. Giroud's got a bang on the nose, and United just belt the ball forward aimlessly from Evans. Referee Michael Oliver's just going across to check on Giroud. Mark?
He's fine. He's absolutely fine.
Disappointing though at the moment, isn't it, the game?
Well, it's disappointing insofar as lack of goal-scoring opportunities, certainly clear-cut ones at that, but I think it's quite intriguing just looking at the way that both teams are set up and are playing, and Arsenal are playing with a little bit of a swagger without really looking as though they're going to trouble De Gea. Manchester United, not so at the moment for me.
Well, David Moyes has come into the area for the first time down there, the technical area, which is a sign that he wants a little bit more from his team. They were certainly revved up at the start. Now Arsenal have got a free kick as David Moyes surveys the scene down there. Sir Alex Ferguson is here as well, watching on from the director's box away to our left. Free kick to Arsenal, 0-0 at Old Trafford. Touched off to Arteta, who we understand is another one labouring with possible flu bug or whatever the bug is that's going around the Arsenal camp at the moment. Arsenal hit it down the centre towards Ramsey, doesn't control it. Carrick with a back pass, and De Gea doesn't really deal with his clearance. Cazorla is beaten in the air by Smalling. The ball doesn't reach the halfway line yet. Valencia juggles with it. Gibbs goes flying in, and now Smalling lifts the ball towards the centre circle. It runs kindly for Kagawa. Ever on the outside. Back again to Kagawa. Big vote of confidence he's been given Rooney today. Selected ahead of Januzaj in this team. Little flick from Rooney doesn't come off. Arsenal trying to counter-attack, but that doesn't work for them either. Scrappy bit of play. Now over on the far side, it's Flamini once more shadowing Rooney. Rooney arcs the ball in towards Van Persie, and that's gone off an Arsenal defender for a corner.
Great ball from Rooney, wasn't it? Just came in from the left, head up, ball out of his feet, and whipped this crossing, and it was really difficult for Arsenal to deal with.
Well, this is an area where they miss Mertesacker's height, of course, dealing with corners, Arsenal. Vermaelen and Koscielny, smaller figures in the central defence. Giroud comes back into the 6-yard area. Flamini's at the near post, and Gibbs just behind him. Corner kick to Manchester United. Rooney to take. 0-0. It comes sweeping from Rooney. Header in, and there from Van Persie. Robin Van Persie does it against his old team. Rooney's corner, Van Persie's header. 1-0 to Manchester United.
Well, again, it's all about the ball in as well from Rooney. Just arching in, right-footed. Absolutely brilliantly driven in, and Van Persie just nipped in front of his marker, mate, and just got enough on it. Anything more, it was over the bar. Excellent movement, great finish this is.
Well, he scored against them last season in the Premier League, just to rub salt in a few old wounds. And Rooney initially won the corner with a fantastic ball in, which Arsenal's defenders headed away for a corner. Then the corner kick from Rooney. I mentioned the lack of Mertesacker's presence in the penalty area as well, and Van Persie with a great header gives Manchester United a 1-0 lead.
Two things from Arsenal's point of view. A, nobody picked Van Persie up. The second one, there was a man on the line who then decided to drift towards the goalkeeper. He was on the post. If he'd stayed on the post, he could have just headed that clear.
I think the man on the line was Gibbs.
Was it Gibbs?
Yes, I think so. Anyway, 1-0 to Manchester United. That's got everybody going here. Well, most of them, apart from the Arsenal fans, away to the right.
Well, Gibbs as a fullback should know if you're actually designated to stand by the post, you stay by the post.
Well, the word going around Old Trafford when we arrived today was that Van Persie might not be starting today with a possible injury. Well, he very much is starting, and he's headed Manchester United into a 1-0 lead. Arsenal have this fantastic away record, of course, since they won in Munich. They've won 14 of their last unbeaten 15 away games. They've hardly conceded goals on the road. They conceded one here today, and now Arsenal have to show their qualities, because they seem to be happy containing. Now they have to go forward and try and redeem this situation. We've hardly seen Ozil yet. Ozil finds Gibbs. Now Arsene Wenger comes out into the technical area to try and wake up his team. 1-0 to Manchester United. Ramsey, edge of the penalty area, forced square by the defenders, lifts the ball to the far side. Sagna controls the ball on the chest. In comes a cross from Sagna, and Evans is there to head it out, but only as far as Arteta. Back again to Sagna. 1-0 to Manchester United. Ramsey can't go forward. United clear. Arteta picks it up once more, and Van Persie comes tackling back and fouls him, I think. And the free kick is given to Arsenal down that far side.
Yeah, I think Arsenal wanted advantage at the time, but there wasn't a great advantage anyway. And the thing for Arsenal as well is to hit back as quickly as they can here.
Well, I mentioned in the build-up to the game, I wondered how much breaking up the central defensive partnership today would affect Arsenal, because Mertesacker and Koscielny have been so strong. Arsenal are a goal down, so we're going to see their quality potentially here now, away to the champions. 1-0 to Manchester United. Free kick to Arsenal, far side the right. Doesn't clear the first defender, and the exasperation shown there by Arsene Wenger. Van Persie headed it away. Cazorla, another player who's not been in the game very much. Flamini lifts the ball forward a bit innocuously, and Vidic clears. Again, more exasperation from Arsene Wenger as Manchester United now try and come on the counter-attack. Rooney, who really enjoys himself normally playing against Arsenal. He's scored lots of goals against them, and he's made one today. Referee was just looking to see whether there was going to be an advantage there, as Evra was clattered, and I think we're going to get the first yellow card of the game.
Yeah.
Is it Flamini? Sagna is the player who's being spoken to.
Sagna.
And Sagna, as Arsenal throw the ball down for the free kick. It's Sagna's foul on fellow countryman Evra, and a yellow card.
Yeah, the referee did well because he waited actually to see if Manchester United were going to gain an advantage, and that obviously wasn't the case, and it was an absolutely correct decision.
On 5 Live and World Service, it's a much noisier Old Trafford. Manchester United 1, Arsenal 0. Free kick taken, and the flag's gone up immediately near side against Manchester United. Free kick to Arsenal, who at the moment are not carrying too much of a threat, Mark.
They're not a threat at all. I think they get to within 20-25 yards of Manchester United's goal, and unfortunately every pass there, he's not forward, Mike, it's either sideways or back at the moment.
It's Swansea 0, Stoke 2 in the other alive game at the moment in the Premier League. Ozil now down the Arsenal right-hand side. 2 United players immediately going in to hunt the ball back. Kagawa was there, and ball's out of play for United throw. Earlier, Newcastle winning 1-0 in London against Tottenham, and Sunderland beat Manchester City 1-0. 1-0 to Manchester United. Van Persie, who left Arsenal to try and win some medals belatedly in his career, and of course helped them to the title last season, and he has scored the goal here, dividing the two sides.
Just such a deft header, wasn't it? Yeah. Like a flick as much as anything.
Great corner as well from Rooney. Rooney does deliver well from those wide positions, as in now comes Thomas Vermaelen. That's too strong towards Giroud, and the ball bounces through to De Gea, who's really been untested in the United goal. In fact, the biggest test so far was when there was a misunderstanding between him and Evans. United, ball out of defence, straight back to Arsenal. Gibbs plays it quickly into Ozil. Nice touch from Ozil, and Giroud now approaching the penalty area. Little ball in is not good enough from Giroud. Again, frustration shown by Arsene Wenger. United fail to clear. It's Cazorla. Cazorla's shot is straight at Jones, and Jones felt that as well as he knocks it away from throwing.
Great block by Jones. Great block.
Jones playing in midfield today, and I can see as Arsenal build now once more with Giroud. Giroud winning the corner kick. Darren Fletcher's sitting just behind us here today, and this was often his occasion. He was often used in midfield for Manchester United and did well against Arsenal. And today Jones has got the midfield role with Carrick. In the Championship, it's Yeovil 0, Wigan 1.
Remember the time Phil Neville played against Vieira?
Yes, I do. Corner kick to Arsenal, trailing 1-0. Short corner, played into Ozil. Back again to Cazorla. Cazorla's in there. De Gea with a good fist. Great distance, almost reached the halfway line. Sagna collects on a yellow card, remember, in the game now. 1-0 to Manchester United. Gibbs, high ball towards Giroud. Giroud slightly off balance, couldn't control the header. United again don't get much distance with the clearance. And I think Arsene Wenger now will be looking at the likes of Ozil and Cazorla and Ramsey to be more involved in this game, because so far they haven't had enough of the ball. Cazorla now turning away from Rooney. Cazorla plays the ball in to Flamini. Flamini's ball towards Giroud was cut out by Manchester United. And again Arsene Wenger does his sort of Basil Fawlty impersonation down there, throwing his arms around and trying to get his side back into this game from the sidelines.
What was the game when he was stood in the stand when he got sent up? That was his best Basil Fawlty impression.
Throw into United, short of the halfway line. 1-0 they lead. Set piece, Rooney's corner, headed in powerfully by Van Persie. Carrick, very important for him to come back today to provide some stability in midfield. Turns the ball back to the goalkeeper. Clearance isn't great from the United keeper. Arsenal back have it now in midfield. Sagna far side. On to Ramsey. Ramsey playing wide right-hand side. And maybe not his best position, sort of being accommodated really in this midfield. They might want to get him a little bit further forward. Vermaelen on to Gibbs, just inside the United half. Gibbs trying to shuffle away from Smalling. Gibbs back into the back four for Koscielny. Now Sagna wide right, far side. Sagna holds the ball, has to go back under pressure from Kagawa, and Arsenal have to build again from inside their own half. Thomas Vermaelen, rare start for him in the absence today of Mertesacker. Arsenal building slowly and just knocking it around short of the halfway line. Mikel Arteta for Ozil. Ozil's tackled by Valencia, but it comes back again to Arsenal. Bit loose there from Ozil. Koscielny's driven ball towards Giroud. Nice footwork. Flamini now looks right, looks left. Flamini plays it square to his left-hand side, and Cazorla running across to that right-hand side. Ball down the right now for Aaron Ramsey. Good play here from Arsenal. Anything at the end of it? No. Clearance from Manchester United's Evans inside the penalty area, and it's back inside the Arsenal half.
Just lacking that guile, Mike. Arsenal, certainly, we said before, 25-30 yards from goal. Just looking for something to happen rather than actually making something happen. Lots of possession.
10 minutes to go in the first half. United have only won 2 of their 5 home games so far this season. Suddenly Arsenal waking up down that far side, trying to put pressure on the United defenders. Evra's there against Ramsey, and it wasn't a very good clearance. Flamini pounces. Ramsey again knocks the ball back to Arteta. Only Giroud at the moment in the penalty area. Ball is still wide right. Comes in from Ramsey, takes a deflection, header from Giroud. That's the first effort at goal really from Arsenal. It's wide and high, and a goal kick to Manchester United.
Yeah, and it was only a looping header at best. I just wonder, just remains the same at half-time, if Arsene Wenger might just have a little look at the way his team are playing and try and get Mesut Ozil, who's generally not really been in this game, get him playing in between the lines, because at the moment it's a little bit too easy for Manchester United to defend against Arsenal.
1-0 to Manchester United. Van Persie, who else? Against his former team, scoring for Manchester United. Little threat so far from Arsenal, and the midfield haven't had enough of the ball. Cazorla now. United are tackling well though, and putting pressure on the Arsenal players immediately. Kagawa now. Slightly mishit it, but it runs to Rooney. Rooney's got 2 or 3 Arsenal players around him. Now Jones to the right, to Valencia. Cross comes a defender. Valencia on the ball against Vermaelen. Valencia cuts it back. Oh, and he cut it back away from all the red shirts. Arsenal's clearance is wretched, and United have it again with Patrice Evra. Halfway inside the Arsenal half. Rooney trying to shake off his marker. Rooney still forced back towards the halfway line. United retain possession. Neatly played by Evans now to Smalling. Valencia's pointing. Smalling back again to Johnny Evans. Evans wide right. That's a nothing ball from him. Vermaelen will have to play it, and it's still in play. Big high clearance from Vermaelen. Loose from Smalling, and now Arsenal from the edge of their own penalty area bring the ball out a little slowly, but they just don't seem to have the ideas here at the moment to open up Manchester United.
No, also as well is they are somewhat compact, and they haven't really had a midfield player who's run the other side of Giroud, who's furthermost forward for Arsenal, and consequently playing against that, Mike, it's easy because you just hold the line as a back four because nobody's running in behind you at the moment.
2 great results in the past week against Liverpool and Dortmund, but they've had to change the back four today. They're trailing 1-0. Ramsey was waiting for that to reach him, and Kagawa refused to allow that to happen. Kagawa now to Van Persie. Where's Rooney? He's jogging away down that left-hand side as Kagawa again picks up the ball in midfield. Evra makes a chase down the left-hand side. Kagawa sees him. Here's Evra now on the edge of the area. Ball is played in, and Koscielny was there to whack it clear. It comes back again off an Arsenal player to Rooney. Poor play from Arsenal. Rooney's gone down under the challenge, looks at the referee for a penalty. Arsenal are breaking on the counter-attack. Gibbs is making a big run down the left-hand side. Cazorla's ignored him. He's gone into the centre circle. Sagna now may receive down the right. No, it's played short to Flamini. Opportunity wasted there, I think, because both Sagna and Gibbs were breaking. Now it's played long towards Gibbs. Left-hand side. Gibbs cutting in ahead of Smalling. Back to Ozil. Arsenal overplaying at times here. Ramsey once more. Again, it's a little too slow from the Arsenal midfield players. Ramsey once more. Didn't seem to want that ball, but he's got it again. Ramsey, United just pushing Arsenal back to the halfway. There's Arteta now with a big diagonal to the right-hand side. Sanya's brought it down. Again, they're going backwards, though. Arsenal building, and they look to Ozil to get on the ball for them now. Again, he can't go forward, though. Just knocks it off short to Sanya. Arsenal, again, now into Flamini, down the right wing. On to Ozil. Ozil drifts it high to this near side. It's too high, though, for Ramsey. And that passage of play, really, from Arsenal after 39 minutes sums up their contribution to this first half in many ways.
Yeah, lots of possession, everybody having a nice touch, but the compass is awry, isn't it? Really is at the moment. And also the final ball, said before, more often than not, it's sideways or it's back, and occasionally when it's forwards, it's given straight to Manchester United.
Well, they seemed happy to come out and absorb and contain, but now that they're a goal down, they have to do more than that. And now they're having to get back behind the ball because United are building again. Kagawa's having quite a lively game. Evra back again to Kagawa. Lovely touch from the Japanese player. Kagawa now drives towards the dead ball line. In comes a challenge from Sanya, and the corner kick is given. And remember, United scored from the previous corner, taken over on that far side. This time they'll have to mark up better against Van Persie.
Yeah, and if you're Rooney, being a very intelligent footballer, you'd probably dump it in the same position. Although you might argue it was an Arsenal goal kick.
Right, where's Van Persie? At the moment he's just in... Oh no, he's moving. Van Persie, he's around about 8 or 9 yards out at the moment as Rooney now lifts in the corner kick, and Szczesny got a fist to it, and then he got clattered as well afterwards. Arsenal's players are demanding that the referee immediately allows the trainer to come on. There's some concern here for Szczesny. There's also a bang on the head for Jones too.
Yeah.
Haven't seen that back yet, but obviously a collision between those two players.
Well, all the Arsenal players are moaning at the referee. As for what, we just couldn't possibly see.
Well, Jones, just looking at Jones, looks like he's seeing stars at the moment. They're just trying to calm him down. There is a stretcher on immediately for Szczesny, who's lying, well, at the moment masked by Arsenal players.
He looks out of it,
but he doesn't look good at all. Szczesny's taken a big blow there following that corner, and the medical staff are out there. And he may not be able to continue.
No, well, this is also on the back of Hugo Lloris.
That controversy last weekend.
Goodison.
And everyone will be even more mindful now. I don't think the stretcher... what's happened?
I'll tell you what's happened is Jones came in for the ball with Szczesny, and he basically headbutted Szczesny, but in trying to get the ball, Mike, if you'll see it again in a minute, he really seriously went for the ball.
I think Szczesny's going to be okay.
Yeah, I think
he's sitting up now. The stretcher's been taken away.
Yeah.
So all that immediate alarm, we are moving towards half-time here. So it really would have to be desperate for the keeper to go off at this stage. And, massive collision.
Yeah.
And
it was a follow-through, it wasn't.
Yeah, absolutely. And a yellow card, though. Why would that be given to Jones?
I have no idea. I just thought it was purely accidental.
Well, Jones is on a yellow card now for that, and Szczesny's okay, and it's 1-0 to Manchester United if you're joining us in 5 Live and World Service. Van Persie got the goal, now Giroud has the ball. A little bit of time obviously now to be added on as Flamini went flying in. Referee might have penalised that challenge, but he's played an advantage. Wayne Rooney for Manchester United, he may speak to Flamini in a moment. Valencia's ball in, headed away by Arsenal. United player back inside his own half. Is it Jones again?
It is, yeah.
Goodness me. Really in the wars at the moment, Jones. And when the game stops, it'll be interesting to see whether referee goes across to Flamini. It was a bit of a wild challenge from the Frenchman. And now Arteta for Arsenal, given away. And Ramsey gives him the stare, and Manchester United have the ball again. So he did well, though, Michael Oliver there, playing the advantage for Manchester United. And United leading 1-0, getting great support from the crowd. Watch their team go forward again. Evans gives the ball away. But Arsenal at the moment, not really at the races. They're not able, when they get the ball, to really open up Manchester United. That's Gibbs with a measured ball into the centre circle. Now Flamini. Terrible from Flamini. Straight back to Evans. Again, Arsene Wenger throws his arms down. And now it's loose from Ozil. And Manchester United make a mistake. And Giroud strides forward, but never really threatened to get going there. and it's turned away for a throw-in down this near side. Now, how good is his memory here, Michael Oliver? Because this is at least 2 minutes after the event, and there's the yellow card for Flamini.
Yeah. I think Jones saw the tackle coming. Whether he actually really caught him, I'm not sure. Well, wasn't that bad, but hey.
1-0 to Manchester United, and the United players not involved today, sitting in the director's box now, make their way towards the dressing room to hear what David Moyes has to say about the first half. Reasonably satisfied, I'm sure, so far. Arsene Wenger will want to wake up his team, who are threatening to lose here today for only the second time this season since that opening weekend against Aston Villa. First time on the road since, back in the springtime at Tottenham. United's clearance up to the halfway line. Koscielny goes in against Robin van Persie. And now Flamini down the right-hand side for Ramsey. Ramsey's ball forward to Sagna. Sagna now wins the corner kick.
A goal
kick.
Came back off his knee.
He won the corner.
Hit the Manchester United defender, rebounded onto his knee and went straight out of play. And I would probably argue I didn't see much of the Aston Villa game with Arsenal, the first game of the season, but I would say probably this 45 minutes here is a true test, as they've not particularly been good at all, have they?
Well, everybody was saying today that this was the big barometer for Arsenal, but it was also a big barometer for Manchester United as well, wasn't it?
Yes, definitely.
And Manchester United came out 2 minutes of added time, and you could just sense, and I think Mark and Alan were both saying, having been to previous home games here, there was a different edge about Manchester United at the start. Then Arsenal seemed to settle down, and United had it's a bit high from Ramsey on Evra, but Evra's done well. He's got back on his feet straight away.
Well, Evra also was diving in to head the ball, and the referee was in the right position. Not made a great fuss of it, quite rightly.
So they came out very motivated, but once Arsenal had got through the first 20-25 minutes, you thought they might get into the game, but they haven't really at any stage.
Well, you have to possess a goal threat, Mike. You really seriously do, and they haven't done that. And you can argue that, there's only been one shot on target, which I think that there has, and that's from Manchester United. So they've not created much at all, but they've got the all-important goal.
Well, Arsenal have got Wilshere, maybe, for the second half, but they haven't got Walcott to come on and make a difference from the bench, or Oxlade-Chamberlain. That's where Alan mentioned earlier the resources might just count against them over the whole season.
Their bench today looks a bit sort of weak.
It does compared to Manchester United's, that's for sure. When you think of some of the players on United's bench, Ryan Giggs, Hernandez is on the bench. Let's have a quick look. Januzaj as well.
Game changers. They've got game changers.
Fellaini on the bench too. Alex Ferguson. Sir Alex just watching on. He'll be going for his cuppa in a second. Manchester United 1, Arsenal 0. Last seconds of the first half. Arsenal trying to get back on terms just before half-time. Ball played forward towards Giroud. Vidic was there. Sagna, though, chases the ball down the right-hand side. Looks for Ramsey by the corner flag. Ramsey twists and turns. In comes a cross. Good fist again from De Gea. And is that Jones who's gone down again?
Probably.
Inside the 6-yard area. He's having one of those days. And they're calling for the trainer to come on immediately. It's a long way away from here. I'm not sure. By process of elimination here, I'm looking to see. Can't see Jones on his feet. It's Vidic, is it? Right.
Yeah, it's held by the boots.
Right.
How mad is that?
So the first half has even more time added to it.
Good punch, that's twice now, De Gea. I mean, the first one went some 45, 50 metres almost, and that again was a very, very good punch. Must have been on the weights.
Well, the stretch is out there, but it's almost half-time.
Yeah. Almost
literally seconds away. In fact, the whistle will go any second. We have the resumption. Manchester United overall mark, leading 1-0. Just about right, do you think, the scoreline?
Just about right, yeah. Just about right. I'm told by our producer that De Gea caught Vidic on the hip as he came out to get the ball. Yeah, I think just about right. I think Arsenal will be really disappointed that, and as far as Arsene Wenger is concerned, they've not really played, have they? I mean, we haven't seen Ozil. We haven't really seen any great width. We haven't seen any chances, most definitely. Manchester United just in front of goal. They just look as though they might create a little bit more than Arsenal on the day, but haven't so far.
Just thinking ahead here, if it wasn't able to continue, looking at the bench there, they'd probably have to play Valencia right back, I think, would they not?
And Jones can play centre-back.
Jones would play centre-back, that's right, yeah. And then they'd have to bring someone into midfield, yeah. It's half-time anyway at Swansea. Ali Bruceball.
Swansea 0, Stoke 2 is the half-time score here. Stoke have put Swansea under real pressure in this first half, hunting in packs, not letting them settle and play, and they've taken their 2 chances really well. John Walters with the first, while Ashley Williams was off the field for Swansea. There was a crucial slip from Ben Davies as well, which allowed Walters to get onto Crouch's flick on. Chico tackled weakly in the position where Williams would have been, and Walters found the bottom corner, finishing really well, as did Stephen Ireland with the second goal, a very cool finish in a one-on-one with Gerhard Tremmel. Again, good work from Peter Crouch, a first-time layoff to Ireland to give Stoke that opportunity for the second goal. Swansea have had good chances, but they found Azimir Begovic in good form in the Stoke goal. He's been saving them this week rather than scoring them. So I guess a surprise scoreline at half-time. Swansea 0, Stoke 2.
Now Vidic has gone to the dressing room. He hasn't been replaced. He just spat out a mouthful of blood. And apparently he was caught in the face by the goalkeeper's hip, De Gea's hip, and it rocked his head back. So the whistle goes for half-time. They've got 10 minutes or so to work on Nemanja Vidic down below. But Manchester United go off with a 1-0 lead. And all the questions really at half-time are with Arsene Wenger and Arsenal.
They are, and by any great stretch of imagination, it's not a great game. It is quite intriguing. Manchester United, because of the atmosphere as well and the way that the fans goaded them before kick-off, started extremely brightly. Arsenal thought they'd weather that storm. They were cool and calm under pressure without creating anything. And basically Van Persie's goal is the only thing that separates these two teams. He just got a little, well, not even half a yard, probably got 6 inches on his marker from a great corner from Rooney. Delicately delivered header as well towards the far post, which I think Gibbs on the post should have dealt with. He came and drifted in. So advantage Manchester United at the moment, but not a great game.
And as he goes off, I can see Johnny Evans is still complaining about that incident in the first 5 minutes when Giroud sort of stepped on him, and he's just making that point to Phil Neville as they go off.
I think he steps more across him than actually on him.
Anyway, Manchester United, if they were to win today, would go up into the top 5 again. Half-time score, and it's intriguing because Arsenal can't play as badly again, surely, in the second half. It's Manchester United 1, Arsenal 0.
Thank you very much. After the news, we will hear from all the P's, Pellegrini, Poyet and Pardew, after Newcastle won at Tottenham and Sunderland beat Manchester City. Stoke 2-0 up at Swansea at half-time. First, the headlines. Leah Gooding.
This is 5 Live Sport with Ian Payne.
Half-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United 1, Arsenal 0. Robin Van Persie with the header from a corner. Good day for United fans so far. Then got even better as their neighbours' miserable away form continued with a shock 1-0 loss to Sunderland for Manchester City. Phil Bardsley scored the only goal of the game. Well, John Murray's still at the Stadium of Light. He's been speaking to both managers. What have they had to say, John?
Hello, Ian. Well, it was a buoyant Sunderland manager, Gus Poyet, I've just been talking to downstairs. It really was. They've won all 3 of his home matches. Newcastle, Southampton in the Cup, and now Manchester City. He said for them it's all about confidence and believing, and by that he meant individual games and more widely the battle to avoid relegation this season. And they are now currently within 2 points of Stoke, who they play against next at Stoke, although no, Stoke are winning at half-time. They're 3 points, Sunderland, behind Fulham and West Ham. And this is how Gus Poyet sees things now.
Listen, we are not going to win every game, we know that, but we need to have the belief and the confidence that we can. If we done it today against one of the top teams in the country, if we keep a clean sheet against one of the best players in the world, I think it needs to give you that confidence to go and play against anyone, anywhere, the same way.
How much more confident are you that you'll stay up this season now than before kick-off? Is it possible to say that?
With any doubt. I mean, it was difficult to look at the table before kick-off. Everybody was getting away from you and come back, you're there. Now for the rest is going to be the coming, and we need to keep believing that we can catch all the teams in there and try to be in the mix at the end of the season.
So that's what the manager of one of the teams had to say today. What about Pellegrini? What did he have to say, John?
Well, Manchester City, if you remember during the game, Pat Nevin was with me here, and Pat was saying that he felt that City didn't really get their tempo going into the last 15 minutes of the match. It is their 4th league defeat of the season, and all 4 of them have come away from home. They've taken only 4 points from 6 away games, and this was what their manager, Manuel Pellegrini, had to say about it to me.
The reaction is very similar. The other defeat that we have away, it's unbelievable that we didn't win this match, or at least we didn't draw this match. I think that if you see the whole match, Panterimondi had one shoot to our goal. I think one shoot in the minute 30 of the second half. But I think that we lose again the points away, and that's is very important. I think that we play well. We have a good match. We have the dominant, the possession, the chances, and very secure in defense. So things these things happens in football, and we must continue improving and working. I repeat, if I think or I see that we must change something to win away, I will do it. But I think that the games that we lost in this Premier League, the 4 games we lost, I think I was in the way we play. I don't think we need to change.
Just to clarify, you say generally you are happy with the way that you're playing away from home, with the tempo and everything?
Yes, we are happy. Because if we see the 4 matches that we lost away, we have always more chances than the home team. We don't have any problem in our own goal because we don't take many risks.
That's the Manchester City manager, Manuel Pellegrini. If you've got a thought on Manchester City or indeed on Sunderland, you can ring 606. The lines will be open soon. 0500 909 693. Earlier today, Newcastle won 1-0 at Tottenham. Loic Remy got the only goal in the 12th minute. Alan Pardew, the Newcastle manager, paid tribute to his goalkeeper, Tim Krul, after their win at White Hart Lane. He made several saves after Remy scored early on. Pardew says Krul is one of the best keepers in the Premier League.
Yeah, he's had a few really good days for us. I think he's the best Dutch goalie there is, and he should be their number one. That's my opinion, and he's proved that today. Anybody who was here wouldn't hesitate. He's a great character, and he hasn't really had a big performance from us this year. He hasn't really needed to. That's probably the most pressure we've come under. So brilliant that he's responded on the day that we probably had more shots on target against than we've had all season.
What was that like for a manager to watch, especially the second half? You spoke about your keeper, but your goal had a charmed life at times.
Yeah, no, it's true. But you know, when a team are coming at you, you got a goal, you got a cushion, you're sitting perhaps a little bit too deep. You'd like your team to push on and cause a few more problems, but it's out of your hands a little bit. I was suffering because it was tough to take that last 20 minutes. The referee made a few decisions that I thought were tight on us, and you know, it was all sort of swinging one way. But we, you know, in the end, we had a bit of luck and we had a great goalie and got through it.
Yeah, terrific goalie and back-to-back wins against Chelsea and Tottenham. So how important do you think this week can be in your season, in the belief in your players will get from it?
Well, it's put us on a winning season again. You know, we got more wins than defeats. Very important in the Premier League to have that. But we got great belief, and I think, as I say, we've been consistent really in our performance levels since we beat Cardiff, and that's all we can do, be consistent.
Praise be, because we now have a consensus, both managers having the same opinion. Andre Villas-Boas thinks the finger of blame shouldn't be pointed at his strikers. The Tottenham boss says credit must also go to Newcastle's goalkeeper, Tim Krul.
They made some great saves, miracle saves that normally situations like this, they end up in the back of the net. There's nothing to do with the strikers, and nothing, you know, to have this amount of shots and so good, and all of them see them saved with wonderful saves by the goalkeeper. Credit to him, but I don't think no merit for our strikers because they really, you know, had good situations.
Yeah. How frustrating is it for a manager to stand on and watch that onslaught in the second half and for nothing?
I'm extremely happy with the response. The players were the good response in the second half. That was probably one of the positives of the game, and the argument that we want to take into the Man City game. We don't give the 45 minutes advantage. When we are on top, we can be creating so many chances, and this is the lesson that we have to learn from today's game.
And how difficult is it now to lose the players for a week or so?
Yeah, not easy, obviously, but you know, nothing different than what we had before, and hopefully they return fit with no injuries and go on from there.
One other game today in the Championship. First ever meeting between Yeovil and Wigan. It finished Yeovil 0, Wigan 1. So Ian Wright and Kelly Cates will be here with 6:06 after us. 0500 909 693 is the number. Lines opening shortly. Evening to both of you. What are you making of all the action so far then, Righty?
A little bit disappointing. I'd like to see more from the likes of Santi and Ozil and Ramsey. I just think they've just not woken up yet for me. And
It's
that's
supposed to be a bug in the Arsenal camp. Does it look like they're playing with it a few players below par?
I don't know if you can blame it on a bug at the minute. I just feel you've got to get yourselves going for that kind of game. I was really, really confident going into this game, and Van Persie's just really torn my heart out, really, at the moment.
But celebrating, which you like to see in players at their new teams, don't you?
I don't mind seeing players score against their old team and celebrating, but not today particularly with Van Persie.
Didn't particularly enjoy that one. At Manchester United, they're looking like they're reversing their start to the season, starting to get back on track. But Manchester United's bad start has somewhat overshadowed the fact that City aren't doing well at all. Manchester City in 8th place in the Premier League and lost again today. They're kind of getting away with it a little bit.
Well, they are, and I think last week's 7-0 demolishing of Norwich kind of like papers over a little bit, but I thought that Sunderland, and they've got to take credit, they really did dig in and do a real shift today for their manager and their club, and you have to give them credit. And yeah, you have to look at City, Kels, and say, well, what's going on? Where's that consistency? Because let's face it, I believe that they've got the best squad on paper in the Premier League.
Well, loads of surprises as well. I know they talked about Chelsea West Brom a lot yesterday on 606. In terms of today's matches as well, you never predicted that Newcastle would go to Spurs and win either.
Well, to be honest, it's the goal. You have to say you can't blame the Tottenham strike. What, the 31 chances on goal, 21 on target? That's fantastic. You can't ask any more of that. You have to give credit to the goalkeeper, and you have to say,
where is
well
the problem then? Is it, or was it just because Tim Krul played brilliantly?
I'm not sure with Andre Villas-Boas yet. I'm really not sure. In respect of Emperor's New Clothes vibe I'm getting off of him.
Spurs fans, is Andre Villas-Boas in the Emperor's New Clothes? Let's hope not, at least not in public. But let us know what you think. If you know the answers to any of those questions, then get in touch with us. The lines are open on 606.
It's a strange vibe, isn't it? It's 5:15. Thank you very much to both of you. 0500 909 693. Ian Wright and Kelly Cates here with 606 after us. I should tell you also that Rafa Nadal still on track for his first ATP World Tour Finals title. He beat Roger Federer in straight sets to reach tomorrow's final. He will, of course, face either Novak Djokovic or Stanislav Wawrinka in the final. Commentary of their semi on Sports Extra from 8 o'clock, and you can hear the final live from the O2 Arena on 5 Live Sport tomorrow night from 8 o'clock. From there to the Theatre of Dreams, where it looks like Man United are making a substitution. Let's go back there now and join Mark Lawrenson and Alan Green.
I don't think Vidic is coming out for the second half. He had a very bad clash with his own goalkeeper toward the half-time interval, and he's being replaced by Cleverley. It's not like for like, obviously. Cleverley will play in midfield, and Jones will drop back into the centre of defence alongside Johnny Evans. So this is the revised Manchester United lineup. The goalkeeper is De Gea. Then it's Smalling, Evans, Jones and Evra. Then Carrick and Cleverley. Then Valencia, Rooney and Kagawa. And finally the goal scorer, Van Persie. It was his 10th goal of the season. Arsenal's goalkeeper is Chesney. Their defence, Sanya, Vermaelen, Koscielny and Gibbs. Then Arteta and Flamini. Then Ramsey, Ozil and Cazorla. And finally, Giroud. And I'm wondering if we're going to get a red card, Mark.
Well, I'm possibly. I'm also looking to see what Arsenal will do in terms of response to Vidic going off, because he very much, as everybody knows, is a warrior for Manchester United, and he bullied Giroud a little bit in that first half. And Arsenal need to get Mesut Ozil into this game.
Yeah, and remember, Jones was booked in that first half. So he's got to be very careful now that he's alongside Evans in the centre of defence. So Arsenal, the leaders of the Barclays Premier League, trail Manchester United here at Old Trafford, and United attacking the Stretford end in the second half. Rooney plays it to Valencia. Valencia's cross hits a defender and goes behind for the first corner of the second period in front of the massed ranks of United fans behind that goal away to our left. Manchester United started the game 8 points behind Arsenal. They don't lose it. You know, they can't afford a gap of 11 points.
No.
And certainly 5 would seem a lot more manageable.
Jones has come up for the corner, Alan, so they must be happy that he's okay.
Van Persie plays the corner in and it's headed away. But here's Cleverley. Wide to Van Persie again on the far side of the field. The Dutchman plays it back to Cleverley. Now it's into Carrick, and Carrick to Kagawa. Kagawa now, halfway inside the Arsenal half. To Rooney. Kagawa available again, running forward into the penalty. Rooney tried to pick him out. It was hooked away by Koscielny to some success. And now Arsenal break forward down this near touchline. Ozil, who was really quiet in the first 45 minutes, gives the ball away to Cleverley. Cleverley, back now to Evans. Evans caught in possession. Arsenal have the ball. 25 yards from goal. Forward to Ozil. Ozil back. Ramsey there, right foot shot. Hits the defender Jones, and it rebounds to United safety and now is cleared out of play for a throw in near side to Arsenal.
I just thought when the ball broke into Manchester United's penalty area to Ozil, he might have had a shot, but great vision and into Ramsey. You'd expect him to score the run of form he's on.
Absolutely, 11 goals in 17 games for Arsenal this season. The momentum has to be surely in the second half with Arsenal. They've got to find a way back into this game. Here it's with Ramsey. Ramsey into Giroud. Giroud holds off Cleverley. And then Cleverley's in, brings down the Arsenal player, and it's a free kick to Arsenal within shooting range, about 25 yards from goal.
The thing about that as well, Giroud was struggling, Alan, to know what to do with the ball. It was almost like, please somebody come and tackle me, and it's sloppy from Cleverley. He can't win the ball, and also there was another Manchester United player very, very close to come and shadow Giroud away from the goal, so it's a stupid foul to give away.
Right, Ozil standing around this free kick. Vermaelen is in the vicinity as well. Arteta, one of that three, Ozil, Arteta and Vermaelen will surely strike it. My money would be on Vermaelen. Now it's at least 25 yards from goal, but it's time to get the ball up and over the wall, but it goes over the crossbar.
Poor attempt, isn't it? The thing is, he's got lots of distance in which to get the ball.
To get the ball down.
Yeah, up over the wall and on target. It's poor.
Arsenal haven't won here since 2006.
Not had a shot on target yet.
No, they've been disappointing. Ozil has been peripheral.
Yeah.
Goal kick to Manchester United. De Gea has the cigar out. Goal kick crosses the halfway line. It's been headed on by Smalling to Valencia. Valencia, with a couple of Arsenal defenders close by, plays it back to Smalling, and Smalling just belts the ball into the crowd on the far side of the field. I do hope the start of the second half doesn't mirror what happened in the first 22 minutes, because that was pretty dire stuff. And the game, I thought, would waken up with the goal, but actually it's been of relatively poor quality.
I think it will improve because it stays at 1-0. Quite obviously, Arsenal will have to chase the game and take a few chances.
Earlier in the Barclays Premier League, Newcastle won at Spurs. Sunderland beat Manchester City, and it was the last time I heard Swansea 0, Stoke 2 in the game that kicked off at the same time as this one. Free kick to Arsenal, halfway inside their own half. There's no great urgency from Arsenal at the moment, particularly over this free kick. Vermaelen's going to take it, and he just dinks it in the direction of Giroud. Giroud heads it back, but only to Cleverley. Cleverley finds Valencia. In it goes to Rooney. Rooney holds off his challenger, but Arteta ultimately got a foot on the ball and is played forward, and Ozil rushes forward, plays it to Giroud, back to Ozil. Ozil tried to find Giroud once more. Giroud's forward momentum had been blocked and is cleared by Manchester United.
Well, there's no chance Giroud could get the ball back. Absolutely no chance.
Van Persie to Kagawa, left for Rooney. Rooney working terrifically hard all over the pitch, and it's recognised by the United faithful.
He's the best player on this pitch by a million miles, really.
Easily. Now here's Jones starting in the centre of midfield, now playing in the centre of defence. We've already had 5.5 minutes of the second half. Manchester United 1, Arsenal 0. Evans forward for the champions to Evra. Evra played it into Sanya's body and lost possession. Ramsey then gives it away. So Ozil's not the only Arsenal player not exactly distinguishing himself today. It's with Vermaelen. Vermaelen hits it over the halfway line. Knocked back by Evans, and here's Vermaelen again. Just to confirm, by the way, it's Swansea 0, Stoke 2. Ball is with Chesney. And the crowd find their voice. There are Arsenal fans finding their voice. Perhaps they think they need to just emphasise the need for their side to get back into this game. Yeovil 0, Wigan 1 in the Championship. That's a full time now.
I think you find it's been full time for a while.
Has it? There you go. Throw in on the near side of the field to Manchester United. Evra discusses his positioning with the assistant. Just waits a few seconds. Patrice, we know. Throw goes to the goal scorer Van Persie. Evra, Van Persie again, then Van Persie can only play the ball to Arteta. I'm afraid the second half has started off the way the first half was for a large part. Untidy. Now there's a free kick to Manchester United. Giroud complains to the referee, but Michael Oliver is determined that it's a free kick to Manchester United.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a stramash, wasn't it?
Yeah.
4 or 5, 6 players involved at one stage. Certainly Carrick worked very, very hard to get the ball for United, and in the end he's got a free kick.
Yes, quote, the infringement was on Michael Carrick. So there wasn't a great deal of contact there. We're just seeing a replay of the incident. Ball's hit upfield by Manchester United to no good effect. It runs through to Chesney, and Chesney throws it out to Koscielny. Koscielny now, 20 yards short of the halfway line. Well, he was trying to play it along this right touch line in the direction of Ramsey. Got the direction wrong, and it's out for a throw-in. There's another goal at Swansea. Alistair Bruce Ball.
Swansea back in the game. 10 minutes into the second half. Jonathan de Guzman whips in across from the right-hand side, and Wilfred Boney, who cost Swansea £12 million in the summer, couldn't miss. 6 yards out, buries the header. It's Swansea 1, Stoke 2.
8 minutes played in the second half here at Old Trafford. Ramsey just about kept that ball in play. I thought the assistant was going to give a throw-in, but now he gives a corner.
I thought that looked out, Alan.
That's right.
I really did.
I looked at the assistant expecting the flag to be raised. He didn't raise it, and it's to Arsenal's benefit twice over, because now they've got a corner from the near side. Cazorla to take it in front of the Arsenal travelling support. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yellow shirts inside the Manchester United penalty area. Cazorla, right-footed, plays it in deep. Goodness gracious, it went beyond Vermaelen. Arsenal have it again though. Gibbs crosses into the penalty area once more. Didn't have enough on it. Didn't reach Giroud. And here's Kagawa. Kagawa tackle, loses the ball. Cazorla crosses when he might have thought about shooting at goal. Didn't come off. And now Manchester United can counter-attack. Valencia on the far side of the field. Screaming run by Rooney to his outside. Rooney demands the ball. Gets the ball. Close to the corner flag. Crosses first time. Very deep towards Kagawa. Oh, goodness, that came off Koscielny's shoulder, I think. I was wondering if it was his arm initially. But he gets away with it. Here's Giroud now. Back to Cazorla. Cazorla to Sagna. Sagna, one of the players booked in the first half. Arteta to Flamini. Another yellow card in the first period. Now on the far side of the field. Ramsey into Arteta, about 35 yards from goal. On to Sagna, the fullback, who's midway inside the United half. Moving forward, declines the cross though, plays it back to Cazorla once more. Into Ozil. Ozil, edge of the penalty area. Back to Cazorla. Arsenal patient, as you expect from them. Arteta, Ozil, Manchester United quite happy as long as Arsenal play the ball as carelessly as Ozil did there. Well, a couple of bounces and it's behind for a goal kick.
Well, not only Ozil giving the ball away, Cazorla on occasion, Ramsey, Giroud. It's just very un-Arsenal-like in what we've seen this season so far, certainly.
They've had a great run this season and a fantastic run since I saw them win away to Bayern Munich in the Champions League. They've been unbeaten away from home since that victory. It wasn't enough to keep them in the Champions League, of course, but they've been quite limp today.
Who were you with that night?
Can't remember.
I'm glad I went there then.
Could it have been you?
I think, well, unless it was my mate.
Valencia crosses from the right, deep, looking for Rooney. Rooney jumped but didn't make any contact with the ball. But typical Rooney, he chases after it and he barged into Sagna. Sagna hit the ball and it's out for a United throw-in, which Rooney takes.
Yeah, he was stronger, wasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. He's the best player on the pitch by a mile today. Now here's Jones, forward for Manchester United. Now to the far side and Smalling. Smalling cuts inside, lays it to Kagawa, and Kagawa is going to win a corner off the defender. 11 minutes into the second half. You're listening to 5 Live in the World Service on the BBC. Manchester United 1, Arsenal 0. The lines are open for 606. 0500 909 693. That's the number to call. Van Persie to take the corner from the United right flank. He's going to hit it in left-footed, swirling in toward Chesney. Here it comes. It's high. Chesney comes and catches it quite easily.
It's a little bit of a waste, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
It was so high it gave Chesney loads of time just to, he basically ambled over and caught it above his head.
I understand, that delivery from Van Persie in such a situation is usually very good, but I can't think of my main striker not being in a penalty area at a corner.
No.
And had he not been in the penalty area at Rooney's corner, United would not be leading 1-0 at the moment.
Quite a few teams do it, though.
They do. Here's Gibbs forward for Manchester United. Plays in the left. Early cross in, takes a deflection, and that's gone behind for a corner. De Gea thinks he's got away with it. He tried to hurry the movement to try to persuade the assistant it hadn't gone behind, but it had.
Well, the thing is, this assistant, Alan, he's got to look through the goals, 2 goal posts and a net, and he's got it spectacularly wrong. Now, the bizarre thing about that is it's the other side of the goals. He has to be 100%
It wasn't a corner.
No.
Anyway, the corner's taken short, and it's played deep into the penalty, the United penalty area. Vermaelen. Back to Sagna. Sagna's cross deflects off United head. Danger here. Oh, shot driven into the goodness into the side netting. I thought it was into the net.
It looked from where we were sat as it had gone into the roof of the net, and the referee's
shot.
Yeah, the referee's assistant in front of us must have been breathing a sigh of relief.
Oh, he'd given a goal. This assistant. No, I'm only joking. No.
It's quite wide.
It's all right.
It's just a side net to the far side.
He's just had a couple of bad moments. And he's moving too close to David Moyes now for his liking. David Moyes taking the opportunity to say, what was that all about? Eh?
Yeah, but the fourth official has come and sort of got in between the two of them, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's Andre Mariner who gave that penalty at Chelsea yesterday. That was a great decision as well, wasn't it? Yeah. We get thumbs up from a colleague of ours who may have a slight affiliation for Chelsea, and I don't mean Mike Ingham. Here's Ozil for Arsenal. Arsenal look a bit more threatening now. Ramsey takes it up, shoots from long range. That's easy. Not a problem for the Spanish goalkeeper.
No, but at least it's Arsenal in a little bit of a hurry and trying to get 1 or 2 players forward, something they didn't really do at all in the first half.
De Gea's clearance, he's unhappy with it, but he still reaches a colleague. Van Persie heads it on to Valencia. Valencia level with the edge of the Arsenal penalty area. Valencia turns one way then the other. Persistent challenges though from Giggs. Balls further back away from danger for Arsenal. To Smalling initially, now Carrick. Carrick chips it forward into the penalty area. Van Persie tries to lay it off to Valencia, but it's cleared by Arsenal, not too effectively. Straight to Cleverley. And now with Jones. And Jones, that's a good crossfield ball to the left full-back, Evra. On to Rooney, always available. Rooney, edge of the penalty area. Being pressurised by Koscielny. Plays it back to Cleverley. On his substitute at half-time for Vidic, who suffered a head injury. Now it's with Carrick. And Carrick lifts the ball to the far side, to Valencia. Valencia back and behind Smalling. But Arsenal forced to stay in their own half at the moment. There's going to be a change for Arsenal. It's in the ball played forward. Van Persie, Rooney shoots left footed just wide.
Oh, what a chance that is. Great play by Van Persie, because the ball bounced up to him in the box, and I think he thought for a split second I'll hit it. Saw Rooney, just helped it round to him as well, and didn't even hit the target, Rooney.
Wilshire's coming on for Arsenal. It's an early change for Arsene Wenger, and it's an obvious change. Question is, who's coming off? Flamini. So he's taking off his defensive midfield player. An awful lot of responsibility on Arteta now, though Ramsey will probably play in a deeper position. In fact, Wilshire's telling Ramsey that. And Wilshere, at the moment, is going into the centre of the three behind Giroud, with Ozil coming to the right and Cazorla staying left.
Yeah, I think they've gone 4-2-3-1, haven't they?
Yeah. Well, the referee decides that's a foul by Vermaelen on Van Persie, and it's a free kick to Manchester United. 61 minutes played here at a packed Old Trafford, and United, the champions, lead Arsenal, the leaders of the Barclays Premier League, by 1-0, scored by Robin Van Persie, the former gunner, of course. In the 27th minute, a header from Rooney's corner. Van Persie chases after that ball, but he'd already pulled back the defender, Vermaelen, and it's a free kick to Arsenal, which wasn't taken in the correct spot.
I think the referee just let him play on, yeah.
Did he? Because Arsenal had the ball. Yeah. Cazorla on the far side. In now to Ramsey in a deeper position from which presumably he'll not as often threaten to score another goal in this fabulous goal-scoring season for the Welshman. Ramsey. Now to Wilshere. Wilshere got past Kagawa but lost control of the ball. Then it's given away by Evans to Arteta. Gibbs on the far side. Into Arteta again. The ball's inside the Manchester United half. In fact, everybody bar Chesney is inside the Manchester United half. Arteta hits it towards this near touchline and Sanya into Ozil. Ozil back to Vermaelen. Edge of the centre circle. Vermaelen strides forward, moves into the enemy half, leaves it for Giggs under pressure from Valencia, forced to play the ball back 40 yards to Chesney, the Arsenal goalkeeper.
Working hard without the ball, Manchester United at the moment, forcing Arsenal back.
That's always the very least you can expect from Manchester United. They will work hard when they don't have the ball. Here's Gibbs winning it for Arsenal again. The foot was a little high from Smalling. Fair challenge according to the referee Michael Oliver. Ball played forward in the direction of Van Persie, but it's cleared by Vermaelen, who's only playing today because of illness to Mertesacker. Rosicky is also feeling unwell. That's why he's certainly not in the squad today. And Arteta, we were told before kick-off, is suffering from the same bug. But he's playing. And particularly now that Flamini's been taken off, Arteta has to stay out there. Manchester United 1, Arsenal 0. 18 minutes gone in the second half. Smalling taking an age to take this throw-in. They're not running down the clock, are they? He throws it towards Van Persie, but he's surrounded by yellow shirts. Van Persie, and he loses the ball. Koscielny takes it up for Arsenal. Ozil had made a run forward. Koscielny declined to hit it that long. And it's a shorter pass that goes to Cazorla. Cazorla just moving over the halfway line into the centre circle. On to Ramsey. And Ramsey finds Sanya. Wilshere's furthest forward with Giroud at the moment. The ball with Ramsey. And Arsenal being pressed by Manchester United. Anytime they wonder any depth into the United half. Cazorla running towards the near side, the Arsenal right, to Ozil. And Ramsey again. Giroud being marked by Jones. The ball with Ozil. And now to Sanya. Sanya gets past Evra pulls it back and has the nerve to complain about the decision. I think every one of the 76,000 inside the ground saw that, Patrice.
It's a lazy foul as well.
It was. So it's a free kick to Arsenal. No more than a yard inside the touchline. Near side of the field. They're right. Cazorla shaped as if he was going to hit it left-footed, but he's going to play it right-footed. Vermaelen and Koscielny are up inside the penalty. It's played in deep, looking for Koscielny. Headed away by Manchester United. Kept him playing the far side of the field. Another cross in. Guess who heads it clear? Wayne Rooney. And now Evra smacks the clearance up over the halfway line straight to Chesney. United are very deep, but the first player to run into the Arsenal half to make a challenge on Sanya is Wayne Rooney. Goodness gracious. He's not only talented, he just never stops working. Now Chesney hits it into the United half. There wasn't a foul there on Arteta. He thought he was fouled, but he's still got the ball. Arsenal still in possession. 20 minutes played in the second half. It's still 1-0 to the champions. Cazorla, good ball into Wilshere. Wilshere, though, being out-muscled by Jones. Jones gets the ball behind, and Wilshere fouled him in the process anyway. It's a free kick to Manchester United.
Yeah, and Wilshere can't believe that the decision has been given against him, certainly. Great ball, though.
It was.
Lovely ball in. Good. Probably, Alan, the first time in the game that an Arsenal player has run ahead of Giroud. Certainly a midfield player.
They just haven't impressed today, Arsenal. And I don't think if the scoreline stays the same, if it's a Manchester United victory, Arsene Wenger can complain no more than Brendan Rodgers complained last weekend when Arsenal beat Liverpool. He just said, we were beaten by the better side. And even though United aren't exactly spectacular today, they have been the better team. Ball is back with De Gea. And De Gea's high clearance met by Rooney, who jumped higher than Koscielny, but the ball breaks for Arsenal, and then Van Persie wins it back off Arteta. Valencia takes it up. Valencia rushing forward to Rooney. Rooney, well out of goal, thought impetuously about a chip, and they actually underhit it and hit it wide anyway.
I think he changed his mind, wasn't it? Good work certainly by Van Persie winning the ball. But ball came to Rooney. His brain worked so quick, he probably thought of 3 different things. In the end, they've got a sort of mixture of the 3.
Chesney with a goal kick for Arsenal. Hit onto Giroud, and there's a lovely flick from Giroud. Picked up now by Ozil. Giroud makes a break into the penalty area. The pass goes to Cazorla instead. Ozil once more. Ozil to Cazorla, and now Sagna. And Giroud still waiting for the cross. Ozil has it again. Inside right channel. And instead of crossing into the penalty area, hits it away towards the far side. Arsenal have the ball, but they've now back into their own half.
And they're looking to score the perfect goal. It's the old Arsenal problem.
They haven't looked likely today to score any goal, never mind the perfect goal. In fact, I'm still waiting to describe an Everton goal in my 2 periods of commentary, the second of which is almost finished. Here's Sagna, back to Ramsey, and back to the halfway line, and it's back to Mike Ingham.
Well, Arsenal having much more of the ball in the second half, but as you've been hearing from Alan and Mark, not doing enough with it for Arsene Wenger. Both of the managers are down there in their areas. Again, United have to retreat as Arsenal build in front of us down the right-hand side. Sagna onto the substitute Wilshere. Cross comes cleverly. Wilshere again. Back to Ramsey. Giroud's waiting patiently in the area. It's a very congested area. Wilshere now for Arsenal. Arsenal have to take the ball out of the penalty area. Ramsey again. Onto Sagna. Sagna's ball in. Giroud going to try and turn here with the defenders. Still Giroud. Johnny Evans did well, but Giroud still retains possession. Now Rooney's back helping out. Almost gets in the way as Wilshere goes wriggling through looking for a free kick. And De Gea clears, and Arsene Wenger shakes his fist and wonders why there wasn't a free kick. United's big ball back into the Arsenal half, and Vermaelen is there to clear. Mark.
Yeah, and I'd sit here and wonder why there wasn't a shot at goal. They just go through periods of games also where they just actually loathe, Mike, to have a shot at goal. They have to score at times a perfect goal.
The thing about the occasion here generally today is this is noisier than it usually is here. I mean, there's a massive noise here. And if United manage to beat Arsenal today, that's fantastic. But then when they play Newcastle, for example, in 3 or 4 weeks' time here, 12:45 on a Saturday, they'll want the same intensity if they're to retain their title.
Yeah. Mind you, I don't think you get any intensity at 12:45 on a Saturday.
Still Swansea 1, Stoke 2. Earlier Newcastle, a great win at Tottenham 1-0. An equally great win for Sunderland against Manchester City 1-0. If Manchester United win here today, it becomes much tighter at the top of the Premier League. And indeed, those defeats for Spurs and Manchester City won't be quite so damaging. It's Ozil who's really struggled to make an impact today. Listen to the noise, though, just to sort of amplify what we've been saying in the last few minutes. And maybe the crowd realising that Manchester United will need this help over the last 20 minutes as Arsenal have the ball again. Wilshere, one of 7 of Roy Hodgson's England squad now on the pitch, and he's watching Jones play centre-back as well in this second half. You may well look at Jones in the first of the internationals in that position on Friday night. Wilshere now. Again, lots of pretty passing from Arsenal. They're not really cutting through at all, though. Arsenal still forced to go backwards. And now Ramsey, who's playing alongside Arteta. Little floater into the area towards Ozil. No attempt to try and get it, Ozil. He realised he wasn't going to reach it.
Well, mate, I don't know why not.
No.
I think he could have thrown himself at it.
Well, he didn't. Back to Swansea, Ali Bruce Sport.
Swansea were 2-0 down, but now with 15 minutes to play, they are back to 2-2. Routledge skipped away down the left-hand side with the outside of his right boot. Just chipped a clever little cross into the near post. It was headed away, and Nathan Dyer brought it down. Didn't catch the volley cleanly, but Asmir Begovic couldn't get there. It's Swansea 2, Stoke 2.
Thank you very much indeed. You're listening to 5 Live and BBC World Service, and a very interesting 20 minutes coming up before the international break now, because if it stays like this here, United leading, then the whole of the top of the Premier League is going to be really compressed again. And all the others will be hoping that Manchester United can hang on here to a 1-0 lead. Evra with a throw-in. They're not getting as much of the ball inside the Arsenal half at the moment. Rooney's missed one good chance to put the game beyond Arsenal. Wilshere doesn't really control the ball. Neither does Ozil. And Evra now trying to clear for Manchester United. Rooney does well, holds off the challenge, looking for Van Persie, juggling with the ball. Square from Van Persie. Chance now for Valencia to run forward here for Manchester United. Valencia's little chip into the area, and Sanya's header away. May run for a corner kick. In goes Chris Smalling, and the cross now whipped in from Valencia. Doesn't clear Arteta. It's on the edge of the area. Cleverly hasn't really got into the game since he came on. Now Arsenal. Brilliant control from Mesut Ozil. Ozil now inside the Manchester United half. Oh, and he picked the wrong. Well, he just didn't manage to find Cazorla. He underhit the pass. Manchester United tidy up. And now, if they can score a second, they'll know with just 18 minutes to go that should be enough.
Well, a brilliant first touch from Ozil, and all he succeeded in doing was pass it to a Manchester United player.
Yeah, if it stays like this, there'll be just 5 points between the top 7 in the Premier League, and that top 7 wouldn't include Manchester City. But still time to go for this to change here. But Arsenal haven't been at it today. Jack Wilshere, the second half substitute, can't get the ball past Kagawa. Kagawa on the halfway line. In came the challenge from Ramsey. Arsenal break now. Ozil, Giroud just holding hands there with Jones, and now Ozil looks to see the best availability. It's Jack Wilshere. Wilshere over to Gibbs, who's unmarked on the edge of the area. Taking too long every time though from Arsenal. Cazorla has to give it back into central midfield. Little floater from Arteta now to Sanya. Arsenal players waiting. Sanya's whip ball in. Travelled a very long way. Evans missed his header. In fact, he might have got something on it because it's a corner kick far side.
I think he just flicked off his head. I don't know whether he lost it in the lights or not. I'm pretty sure he didn't mean to do that because it could have gone in his own net.
A United central defence without Ferdinand and Vidic now. Corner kick to Arsenal. This is how United scored their goal in the first half. Corner kick down the far side, the left. Koscielny and Vermaelen both in the area. So too is Sanya. In goes the corner kick. Well defended by Smalling, who wanted a free kick, I think. That Arsenal still have a chance to cross far side. Cazorla, that's out. That's gone behind. And
waste.
A complete waste and a goal kick. Yeah, so just to remind you again, Swansea 2, Stoke 2. Swansea were 2-0 down in that game. Great win for Newcastle, 1-0 at Spurs. Sunderland 1, City 0.
Still not created a clear-cut opportunity, Arsenal. I think they've had a shot from Ramsey from some 25 yards that probably bounced on the 4th or 5th bounce through to De Gea. Lots of possession, working hard enough, but just no real openings at all. Comfortable for Manchester United.
And the margins are so slender at this level, you just wonder, as United go forward, just removing Mertesacker out of the back four today, how much of an impact that made. As now Van Persie, in terms of them conceding from a set piece. Lovely play from Van Persie. Now Valencia into the hard-working Rooney. Alex Ferguson watching today will have been impressed by Rooney's contribution. Cleverly. Good play from him now. Cleverly into Kagawa. Cleverly's gone for the return. Not cleared by Arsenal. Kagawa's there. Kagawa's still for Manchester United. Ball played in, and it doesn't reach Van Persie. Koscielny does very well there for Arsenal. Hurries the ball out of defence. Falls over on the far side, and the decision goes Manchester United's way.
I think he hurt himself sliding into the tackle with Valencia, didn't he?
Well, now Arsene Wenger's looking at the bench, maybe, but he hasn't really got too many options down there. We've mentioned Bentner, who's one of the players available to him. As a cross comes in from Manchester United, Sanya's header out of the area. Nobody's yet claimed it for Arsenal. Michael Carrick, though, beaten by the other number 16, Ramsey. In comes a lunging challenge from Rooney. Free kick is given, and a yellow card will be shown to Rooney for that.
Yeah, I think you described it absolutely perfectly. Lunging tackle. So even if there's no great contact, more often than not, you're going to get a yellow.
But Mark,
to be fair, Rooney's taken it.
Yeah, no one's had more fire in the belly today than Wayne Rooney, have they, out there?
For Manchester United all season, Mike. All season, he has been their standout player, no argument.
Manchester United 1, Arsenal 0 on 5 Live and World Service. Sanya now, but there's no real conviction about Arsenal. But Sanya's gone for a return ball from Wilshere. Giroud's made a run, and the corner kick's been given there against Evra.
Better though from Arsenal. Great 1-2 between Sanya and Wilshere. Lovely little layoff from Wilshere, and it's just go in there and cross the ball.
Well, they've removed Flamini. They obviously get a bit more from an attacking point of view, having Wilshere down there. And again, those 3 defenders go into the penalty area as Arsenal have the corner kick. In it goes. Again, it travels a very long way. Shot from Koscielny was straight into the United player. Gibbs with a shot. Oh, and De Gea did well there because it went through a lot of players, and he saw it late and he falls on the ball.
Yeah, but it was only going at 4.5 miles an hour when it got there.
And he will clear. And we have 15 minutes to go. 1-0 to Manchester United. Van Persie's header, 27 minutes. corner kick taken by Rooney. Rooney, who initially won the corner kick. Rooney now one of the players on a yellow card in the game. That's a great ball though from Rooney across the field, and now Valencia with Smalling ahead of him. Valencia, a good run, and Smalling's got it. Smalling's little dink, and they're looking for a deflection. It wasn't there, and that's going to be a goal kick for Arsenal's goalkeeper Szczesny at the Stretford end.
He hasn't really got the technique in those particular areas, and that particular occasion for Smalling, he can just have a touch and wrap his foot round it rather than just open himself up and side foot it in, and more often than not it skews off, which is exactly what happened to him.
Here's the problem for Wenger though, he keeps looking around at that bench there and thinking, can I make any more changes, but really doesn't have a lot up his sleeve. Bentner, Jenkinson, Gnabry, young Hayden, Monreal, the fullback. In fact, it's Ryan Giggs in the month when, of course, he'll be 40. He's coming on for Kagawa.
I think somebody says, well, I thought Gnabry had a little bit of this bug.
That's right, yes. So Giggs always gets a fantastic welcome. Comes on for Manchester United. Scored his most famous goal, obviously, against Arsenal in that FA Cup semi-final at Villa Park, the replay.
Yeah, it was only Keown and Dixon, though, wasn't it?
And it's only been shown about 3 million times as well. Anyway, here comes the change that all the Arsenal fans have been waiting for. Nicholas Bentner for Santi Cazorla.
And there's also a little conversation, Manchester United's point of view, between Steve Round and David Moyes.
Yes.
They're obviously trying to work out what they think that this is Manchester United, trying to work out what they think Arsenal will do and then counter it.
We don't often see Bentner and Giroud together for Arsenal. It's normally, maybe when the game's been won and Bentner comes on for the last 10 minutes or so. But anyway, Bentner's on with Giroud, and we have 13 minutes to go. 1-0 to Manchester United. The ball is with Arteta on the halfway line. Arsenal playing from left to right.
I think Bentner's just sort of gone on the left, Mike. He's not gone straight down the middle with Giroud. And he just drifts in from the left-hand side when the ball's on the right.
But he may get his first touch in a minute. The ball at the moment is near side, though. Ozil again has to play it short. United are hustling well, pressurising well. 1-0 they lead, and now the ball is played with height to the far side, to Gibbs. Now Bentner gets his first touch, down the left-hand side. Nicholas Bentner for Arsenal. Bentner gives the ball away straight away. But it's well won back by Arteta, scrambled back brilliantly by the Spaniard. Finds Sagna near side, Giroud points. Sagna's ball in, that looks too near the goalkeeper. And indeed it was. De Gea then with a brilliant underarm throw sends Valencia clear down the right-hand side. Now Arsenal have to get back quickly. Valencia's got great pace. Valencia squirts the ball infield to Rooney. It's a great challenge again from Arteta. Cleverly knocks it to this near side, looking for Giggs for the first time. And it's out of play for an Arsenal throw.
It's a little bit of a waste from Manchester United's point of view. I think it was 4 against 5 at the time when they were attacking with pace. Just a wrong selection of the pass.
Not much more now that Arsene Wenger can do. He's brought on 2 international players, Bentner and Wilshere. And they are 1 goal down, and they're facing their first away defeat since they lost the North London derby at Tottenham. That was in the game away from home before they won away to Bayern Munich. They've had a great run of 15 games away, winning 14. They're trailing 1-0. There's still time for them, though. Manchester United with Giggs showing all of his experience there. Just still 10 minutes to go, but he knew what he was about. Winning the throw-in off the defender. And now Carrick.
And also the thing with Giggs is he comes to play on the left in front of Evra. He hasn't played on the left for a while, but Wilshere's on the right for Arsenal, so it's counterproductive.
Again, Giggs doing well and looking for Evra. Evra's been pushed over by Jack Wilshere.
Booking.
And it's a yellow card for Wilshere, and it's not great play all round though by Wilshere, because Evra, I'm not sure he was going anywhere really, but now United, who've been having to defend, or at least they've been having to spend time inside their own half, now can get players forward to try and finish the game off.
Well, the big boys as well are up from the back, aren't they?
Well, Jones stays back inside the centre circle. Evans goes in with Smalling on this occasion. And Robin van Persie takes the free kick. Goalkeeper doesn't come for it. Travelled a very long way, and Smalling almost got there at the far post. Not quite, though. It's gone behind for a goal kick.
Well, I just think that's a great chance. He made a great run, Smalling. Flag didn't go up, beat the offside trap, and he's definitely on. We can see it for the replay. He obviously just didn't really keep his eye on the ball. He made little contact, and all it did was really divert the ball wide.
And we had another situation there. Alan mentioned it earlier. Van Persie took the free kick. And, of course, he's the main goal scorer, and he headed in a corner kick. Now Jones has gone down once more.
And well done to the referee, because he's blown his whistle for a split second. They're asking Manchester United, asking Arsenal to kick the ball out, but the referee's blown his whistle because I presume it's a head injury.
Well, there will be another Arsenal change, and it will be the young German player Gnabry, who's going to come on, despite the fact that he may be feeling under the weather. Can he come on and save the game for Arsenal? Let's go back to Ali Bruce Ball again at Swansea.
Into the last 5 minutes, Swansea 2, Stoke 2. Stoke were 2-0 up at half-time, but goals from Boney and Dyer in the second half have got Swansea back into it. They're the team that look more likely at the moment. Swansea 2, Stoke 2.
Thank you very much. 1-0 to United here. Still a bit of work to do to cross the line. And the likes of Liverpool and Chelsea will all be hoping that they can today win this game, Manchester United. Arteta is replaced, gets a pat on the back because I think the manager appreciates his efforts. He's not feeling very well.
Yeah, he's under the weather, isn't he?
Gnabry comes on and is a threat down the right-hand side if they can get the ball to him. But now the chase is on inside the Arsenal half. Koscielny will get there ahead of Rooney. Turns the back pass to Szczesny. Wasn't a great clearance from Szczesny. Far too much elevation. And Koscielny's ball's gone a long way in the air as well. And Everest's header has gone out of play.
Oh, what a touch.
That's the best bit of skill of the afternoon from Arsene Wenger.
I'll tell you what, he'll even have to clean his shoes after that.
Fellaini's coming on for Manchester United. 83 minutes gone nearly in the game. It's Aaron Ramsey for Arsenal. And Gnabry now, the new player. Gnabry's ball into Giroud in the penalty area. Still Giroud, a great tackle. Arsenal still threatened until Cleverley clears. A great tackle coming in there as Arsenal were poised to try and equalise. Back to Swansea, Ali Bruce Ball.
Swansea 3, Stoke 2. The comeback is complete. Wilfred Boney with his second goal of the game. Brilliant work by John Joe Shelby down the left-hand side. Low cross into Boney, side-footed it home. It is Swansea 3, Stoke 2.
Wilshere, rather shot driven in the end from Giroud. It was Ramsey going forward. Arsenal want the corner. And did you see who played?
Smalling.
It was Smalling, right.
Yeah.
It was a great tackle.
It was a great tackle. However, when he burst in Giroud, he had to have another touch. Instead of whacking it, middle of the goal, some 12 yards, 14 yards away, he had to have an extra touch. It was a great tackle by Smalling.
It was probably Arsenal's most dangerous moment in the game. They trail here 1-0. They've got a corner kick. Fellaini will come on in a moment. In goes the corner kick for Arsenal. Well defended by Manchester United. Ramsey gives chase to the far side. Everybody back on their feet again, following the corner. Giroud and the two number 12s, Giroud and Smalling, talking to each other there. Not friendly either. Ball back towards Gibbs on the halfway line, with Fellaini waiting to come into the game. Arsenal going forward. Manchester United hanging on a bit here. Ball with Sagna. Sagna's whipped ball in. Again, Jones does well there for Manchester United, putting enough pressure on Bentner, and the goal kick is given.
Good cross from Sagna. Very, very good cross. Arching away as well from the goalkeeper, but just standing the pressure here, Manchester United.
That's the end of Robin van Persie. At the moment, it's his goal which is going to inflict the first away defeat of the season on Arsenal. Against his old team, he's getting a great reception from the home fans, and he'll be replaced by Marouane Fellaini for the last 5 minutes or so here. A word to Ryan Giggs from the manager David Moyes. Van Persie takes his time. Still, Manchester United have work to do here. Arsenal have woken up belatedly. Wilshere speaks to the referee about time wasting.
Fellaini looks like he's going to play up front, mate.
Yep.
Well, certainly an advanced role.
Fellaini and Rooney together. And Fellaini, of course, looking for all the knockdowns from the kicks. Here comes a long one driven towards him for the first time. In goes Fellaini's knock down to Rooney, and Rooney puts great pressure on Koscielny. Still Rooney. Rooney turns, edge of the penalty area. Great fighting qualities there from Wayne Rooney. Wilshere coming clear, and then Wilshere is tackled by Ryan Giggs. Manchester United really revved up, trying to cross the line here to win the game.
Great pressure from Manchester United, and they're doing it some 75, 80 metres away from their own goal.
A little bit of wounded pride this season for the champions. They haven't been themselves, but today David Moyes is going to get his first big win, really, it seems, unless Arsenal can spring a surprise right at the end here. David Moyes failing to beat Liverpool, Chelsea and Manchester City, but Arsenal are being beaten here 1-0. Van Persie's goal, 27 minutes. Gnabry's flick now for Sagna. Sagna spending much more time inside the United half, but Arsenal lose their way again. Little triangles down below from United. Evans can't give the back pass here and hits it to the far side. Smalling just a little bit surprised, has to hurry himself. Gibbs gets ahead of Valencia and Arsenal knock it back, and neither of these managers are going to sit down now over these last 4 minutes plus added time.
Much better second half.
Much better, yeah. Arsenal at least now trying to take the game, trying to save the game here towards Manchester United. Giroud doesn't work again in midfield. Rooney now, not much on for Rooney, and he can't go past the first defender, who's Koscielny. But Giggs picked up the loose ball, and Rooney is the man available again down the left-hand side. Evra wins the throw-in off Gnabry, and Arsene Wenger knocks the ball into Evra's arms. And we'll hope that he can get on with it quickly, but Evra, being the seasoned professional that he is, will just take all his time and then throw the ball towards the head of Fellaini, who wins it easily in the air. Rooney having a storming game, misplaced pass though.
Well, it was for Giggs, but Giggs had stopped Mike because he was going to be offside, so it ain't the worst pass in the world, because it means that Chesney's got to jog over, get the ball, take the goal kick and waste some valuable seconds for Manchester United.
Well, it's been a huge week for Arsenal with the win over Liverpool and the win in Germany over Dortmund, but they haven't been able to approach that form here today. They are trailing 1-0. They may get one more opportunity to share the spoils here with Manchester United. United have to hurry. Fellaini, and there's a free kick given late on Carrick.
It was Bentner.
Bentner, lazy challenge, unnecessary challenge. All it's doing is wasting time now for his own team. And a free kick to Manchester United. Jones, who began the game in midfield alongside Carrick, now playing alongside Evans in central defence, following Vidic's injury just before half-time. Now Bentner. Bentner does well this time in that exchange against Carrick. Arsenal now trying to get things moving, and Koscielny shuffles towards the halfway line. Sanya's made a run. Koscielny doesn't find him. Giggs was in the way, and now Rooney's back again, working tirelessly inside his own half. Arsenal get a lucky break. Ozil's flick to Sanya. Gnabry ahead of him. Giroud in the penalty area. It's Gnabry for Arsenal. Ball in behind everybody. It might drop to Bentner on the edge of the area. Bentner takes an awful long time in the end to sort out his footwork, and Gibbs in the end can't go past Smalling. Arsenal have a throw.
Somewhat telegraphed, wasn't it? Smalling just stood his ground and just flicked it away from Gibbs.
Minute and a half of normal time. There might be about 3 minutes of added time. 1-0 to Manchester United, throw to Arsenal far side. Here comes the throw. Not well delivered at all by Arsenal. They can't even get that basic thing right here today. Now Ozil's header drops to Giggs, and Gibbs and Giggs, and that's out of play far side. Throw into Arsenal, and this is Gibbs, the left back.
Could be worse, could be Biggs, as in Ronnie.
So Kieran Gibbs of Arsenal with a throw-in. Not many people helping him out following the throw. Wilshere's pass doesn't reach Bentner. United clear. They've left Rooney downfield. And Vermaelen and Koscielny are there, and it's back with Sanya once more, who's quite an outlet down this near side, but he can't go past Evra and can't go past Rooney either. Really putting himself... Arsene Wenger chased to try and get the ball there. It's an Arsenal throw. Referee Michael Oliver sends them back inside their own half. Into the last 30 seconds of normal time. 1-0 to Manchester United. As Arsene Wenger tries to tackle Marouane Fellaini, the ball is with Ramsey, and now back to Vermaelen. This is going to be Arsenal's first defeat since the opening weekend at home to Aston Villa. They are trailing to a set piece, and the headed goal from Robin van Persie. Gibbs gives the ball back, and there's a shouting match going on between Gibbs and Ramsey over on the far side. Now Giroud tries to control the ball, but all he does is set it up for Carrick, and Valencia playing in the right back position. There will be 3 minutes of added time, and we're just into it now.
Well, they need to try and come up with something a little bit different, Arsenal, because they've huffed and puffed, but they've never really ever looked like they're going to get through Manchester United. Played too much pretty football in front of them.
Gibbs, Arsenal left-hand side, crossing opportunity, gives the ball back to Bentner. Again, Bentner seems to take an age to get it under any kind of control. Swings the ball in a bit half-heartedly, and Manchester United clear. As ever here today, it's had all the usual intensity. We haven't had great football, but it's always been interesting. And now it's Sanya again for Arsenal, near side, time running out. Sanya's ball in, and it's now Aaron Ramsey. Very, very tight all around these Arsenal players. And the ball goes off Ryan Giggs for a throw-in to Arsenal. We have 2.5 minutes of added time to go at Old Trafford. Ball thrown into Giroud on the edge of the area. Now Gnabry, good touch for Sagna. Sagna now lifts it in. Oh, right across the face of the goal. Through the 6-yard area. Neither Bentner nor Giroud able to make contact, and it's gone behind for a goal kick.
I think Johnny Evans ducked underneath this. This is very, very odd. Why he didn't deal with it. He looked like he was strumbling maybe a little bit.
It was a brilliant ball in, back to Andy Bruce Ball at Swansea.
Huge drama at the Liberty Stadium. 6th minute of added time. Stoke have a penalty. They trail 3-2. They led 2-0 at half-time. Wilfred Boney got his second goal of the game just a few minutes ago to put Swansea 3-2 ahead. But now Charlie Adam has the chance to level it and scores into the bottom corner. And Stoke snatch a dramatic point right at the end. Swansea will complain about the award of the penalty. Leon Britton on the goal line, adjudged to have handled the ball. He claimed he chested it away, but it is a convincing penalty finish from Charlie Adam, and it's great drama here. It's Swansea 3, Stoke 3.
We have a minute to go here, and Koscielny, that may be it, I think. Arsene Wenger turns away in disgust. Koscielny's given away a free kick, and Arsene Wenger, for about the first time, is about to sit down, I think. He realises the game is up. Manchester United have a free kick. Rooney adjudged to have been fouled, and we have 45 seconds of added time.
Brilliant Rooney, wasn't he? He made up yards and yards and yards to put Koscielny under pressure, and by putting him under pressure, he's got his team a free kick. Get themselves down in the corner.
Well, we're about to go into the international break for a couple of weeks, and the Premier League is about to become so much tighter. Arsenal have plugged the gap on... Manchester United have plugged the gap today on Arsenal. If Arsenal had won today, they'd have been 11 points clear of the champions. But Robin van Persie's goal looks like it's going to settle this occasion with just 15 seconds of added time to go. The ball is with Manchester United. Sir Alex Ferguson, who's experienced so many of these battles here with Arsenal over the years, has been here today to see Manchester United as champions respond to the challenge, and they become the first team to beat Arsenal away from home for a very long time since they lost at Tottenham back in the spring. The 15-game unbeaten run away from home is over, and of all people, the goal was scored by a former gunner, Robin van Persie, from a Wayne Rooney corner just before the half hour. Arsenal, as I think Mark Lawrenson said, huffed and puffed, but in the end really didn't create in the way that they would normally like to here today. Didn't really test David De Gea and the Manchester United defenders, and United win 1-0, Mark.
Yeah, and they deserved it, although Arsenal did come back second half, made a number of substitutions, tried to obviously try and instigate something in terms of making chances. Hardly made one clear-cut chance in the 94 minutes. Manchester United didn't make many more, Mike, but they just looked better in the final third. Looked as though they could make things happen, and in Wayne Rooney, they had the game's outstanding player. Fully deserved. And by the way, who needs a singing section at Manchester United when the supporters are like this? They were absolutely great for their team today.
And you just wonder, I know it's completely hypothetical, but had Mertesacker been out there today, might they have dealt with the corner a bit better or not?
I wouldn't have thought he would have been picking Van Persie up, so maybe the answer to that is no.
Okay. Mark, thank you very much indeed. So on a dramatic afternoon with those wins for Newcastle and Sunderland in this showpiece occasion here at Old Trafford, one goal from former Arsenal player Robin van Persie settled it, and it's much, much tighter now in the Premier League as a result of Manchester United 1, Arsenal 0.
Thank you, gentlemen.